So what was behind the decision to move for you guys? What led to that?
So we originally bought our first house when we were a couple. I don't even think we knew that I was pregnant when we actually went to the auction.
No, we didn't.
No, so we knew that we wanted to start a family, but over the last kind of 6 or 7 years that we were in that house, our needs changed a lot. You know, we went from just being the two of us, and it was a reasonably big house. It was 4-bedroom, but we realised it just wasn't that practical.
The
layout
it was
of the house.
An old villa, so it was like very roomsy, which just wasn't that conducive to family life, bustling family life when you're trying to like cook dinner and want to be interacting with your kids and stuff, and it's just everyone's in separate rooms and it just felt a bit nooky.
Yeah.
Did you wake up one day and you were just like, we've got to find a new house, or was it just a gradual thing that came over time?
I think it was gradual. It was over time where the kids started to get a little bit older that we realised, you know, they're all going to be at school eventually, and so we want the central part of the house to be like us cooking dinner, kids doing homework at the table, someone playing in the lounge, and that we can keep an eye on everyone and we can all be together in those like bustling family moments. And so then it just kind of got more and more to that point, and then we were like, right, let's find something else.
I feel like we were also kind of, I think maybe about 3 years before we sold it. Maybe 2 years before we sold it, I think we had it in our minds that we were like going to work towards selling it, because at that stage, then we were starting to do all these renovations with the mindset of like, let's get this place ready to sell.
Adding value, getting it ready.
Yeah.
And what was the first step? Were you like, we're going to go and talk to a real estate agent, or were you just straight on Trade Me or something to look for properties? Like, what was the first step?
First step was just looking at properties.
Constantly. And kind of just being on an emotional roller coaster, because we would find something that we really liked and we'd be like, great.
You were on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I was invested in every single one, and then I would crash after realising that we couldn't afford it, or that it went to someone else, or so I found that process actually really unpleasant, to be honest, because I was so emotionally invested in every one. And I think because our house was great, but we were looking to upgrade in a few ways. But then we realised that if a house checked every single box, then it would be way out of our price range. Yeah. So we were like, right, okay, let's just, what are the top priorities? What's like number one? And I think a bit more open and just more space for the kids was number one. House couldn't be perfect. It was never going to be exactly everything we wanted. But we had to prioritise, didn't we?
It was definitely an emotional roller coaster for you. I remember there was one instance where we put an offer on a house, which luckily we didn't get accepted because we couldn't afford it, because we did this whole thing backwards. And we thought we could afford what we could afford. We were off. But anyway, so we didn't get this offer accepted, and Maddie literally didn't speak for 2 days. Like, she was just down in this hole.
So upset.
It is hard,
Yeah, but like you said, lucky we didn't get it, because we absolutely couldn't afford it.
No. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then so you didn't want to change location, so you obviously love Warkworth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And was it just about bigger space, the bigger family home? That was all you really needed? And did it take long to find?
No, so we were really after somewhere that was still close to town, because of the age and stage of our family. We still want to be close to everything, but we wanted more land, so we knew we wanted to move like a little bit more out.
Semi-rural.
So we really wanted a little bit more space, on the fringe. A little bit more space outside, and then a lot more of an open plan space inside. Those were the main things we were after.
Yeah.
And we also got an extra bedroom in this house too.
Well, kind of, because this house is still 4-bedroom, but it's got an extra lounge, so we kind of got another room in the house, even though they're both 4-bedroom. Yeah. And so as soon as we found this place, we jumped on it really quickly, because we were like, the house has space, there's lots of land, it's close to town, those are our main priorities. The house needs a little bit of work.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of things that aren't quite what we'd like, that we will hopefully one day be able to alter.
yeah, we'll just chip away on that
Yeah.
over time.
And diving in really quickly. So what does that? What did that mean? So you guys were pretty much guns blazing. You found the place, or this place, went in and put an offer in, and then there was the negotiation, and then you got it under contract.
First thing first actually was we had a chat. This was, firstly we chatted with you, and we got a ballpark sort of idea of what we could afford.
You got the house under contract, which is awesome, and so you're full noise, you're fully invested emotionally, you have to have the house, you've got it under contract. But there was probably one big thing that was holding you back from moving forward, which was?
Well, yeah, our offer was conditional on the sale of our house. So suddenly we had this offer accepted and we were like, shit, we need to sell our house, like quick.
And we've got a lot that we need to do to it before we get it ready for sale. So we were like, okay, we've got essentially 2.5 weeks, don't we?
Quick. We rang the carpet people, got new carpet laid, found a short-term rental to move out of the house, got the house like semi-staged. It was like this sprint, and managed to do it. Everyone was out of the house. We decided to move out of the house because it was just going to be a bit of a nightmare trying to keep it clean with all 3 kids. Hey, like you. And
at this stage, I'm still working full-time, so Art's pretty much doing it all on his own.
it was a lot of fun.
The children, the renovation.
Yeah. It's it's a lot on a marriage, I won't lie. It's a lot on a marriage.
It's a good challenge. Great challenge. We love challenges.
And it was quite full on because people gave us this advice so many times. So before we were ready to purchase, so many people told us, oh, it's a good idea to sell your house first and then move into a rental. So then you're cashed up and then something comes up and you're ready to buy. But we just couldn't do it. I felt like it was too risky, and what a mission with 3 kids. So we decided to just do conditional offers, which is a bit painful because you are on the back foot a little bit. And
I think that we went the right way around because Warkworth is a small community and there aren't that many houses that come about, and there are so few that actually fit the profile of what we were looking for. I think it would have been too risky selling first and then trying to find a house. We wouldn't have found something that we really liked.
And then it might have been a different market, and then...
And you effectively roll the dice. So it's the best way to do how you've done it is the best way to do it, but you need the dominoes to fall. And there's so many dominoes that are outside of your control.
Totally.
To work, but you managed to kind of get those dominoes. And even part of that was accepting kind of like when you first came, you had an expectation of what your house was worth, and you might have had the open homes, and some of the feedback might have been like, oh, maybe it's not going to be the same that we originally thought. Yeah, so you guys had done your first lot of open homes, had an idea on what your house was worth. You might have had it valued previously. Was that just like an agent or someone that came in and gave you appraisals, or? Yeah,
so we had quite a few different appraisals. We had probably 2 or 3 over about a year when we were trying to purchase different houses at different times.
Probably over 2 years.
Yeah.
Is that something you recommend to people for like agents? So what would you kind of, your golden nugget bit of advice be for an agent, for how you chose a real estate agent?
I think choosing a real estate agent that's going to be honest with you and not just tell you what you want to hear. We ended up going with Heather Walton, and it was really good because I felt like she was realistic with us with what she thought it was going to go for, because the last thing you want is to get an agent that's going to tell you the world just to try and get the listing, but then when push comes to shove, it's really hard to sell, or you end up selling for way less than they've promised you. So it was, I think it was after maybe the second weekend of open homes, because we had quite a lot of foot traffic, but it's hard to know whether that was purely because of the house or because we were posting about it as well, and people are nosy and they just want to see other people's stuff.
Want to smell your undies. Smell my undies.
And how was the feedback? How was the feedback from people coming through from what you thought the house might be worth? Was it in line, and or did you have to kind of rejig expectations there?
We had to rejig expectations a little bit. So we had a certain number in mind, and then a number that we thought would be great if we could get that. But then after the second weekend of open homes, we had a chat and we thought actually feedback is coming in at the lower end, and also because our CV was quite low, and we had done a lot of work to the house since the CV, which obviously it doesn't take into account renovations. So we got a lot of people in because of the CV, and then we got feedback of where they thought it was, placed in the market. And so that's when we thought...
Classic lowballing feedback, though, isn't it?
And so then we thought, okay...
You don't want to show all your
Josh a
cards to
call.
a real estate agent.
Yeah, so then we thought, well, let's give Josh a call and just check where we're at. If we have to sell for this absolute minimum number, what does that then look like?
Yeah, or just finding out what our minimum number is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make it work for the next house.
To still be able to afford this house.
Yeah, and that was good. And so all the while this is all going on, you've got that date where you've got to sell your house by. So there's that pressure, right? So you're like, you're looking after the kids, you're doing all the renos to try and touch it up and stuff, and then you're basically selling getting the house on the market, and all with that one date, which you guys effectively did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so auction day. Tell us what it was like moving up to auction day. So it's obviously very anxious. You don't know. You've got everything's riding basically on you guys selling on this day for the price that you need. And so how did that go? Leading up to, and then during, and then after.
We were pretty nervous leading into the auction.
Oh, we were both really stressed leading up to the auction, I think, because we had worked so hard, especially you mainly.
Yeah.
You had a bit on, hadn't you?
And I think there was also just like this there was definitely some pressure because we knew it was going to be tight. Like we knew we needed this figure to be able to afford this next house. And it was like, we knew that the offers, if we got offers at the auction, they were going to be like pretty close to our bottom dollar that we needed. So there was a lot of pressure. Then we went along to the auction. It's all pretty...
It was intense. Like
intense.
The energy is very intense. We were really nervous. Like it felt as if the morning was really long because the auction was at 10 and we were ready to go from 6. And then we sat and had coffee and we were like, so, what do you want to talk about? We just
want to get on with it.
Yeah. And then
you in a back room or something for it? Like, is that...
Yeah.
So we were in a back room and the auction office, it ended up almost kind of filling out, which was really positive. We ended up having, I think, 4 bidders, which in this market is quite good. So then we were just watching from the back room and just hoping it was going to keep going up. And at the start, it kind of goes up in thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, but then it's very quickly slowed down.
And then it was pretty evident that we were quite low. So at our lowest that we would accept basically. And so then our agent kept popping in saying I think this is where we're at. We're going to start going up in, $1,000, then $500. So then at the end, there were 2.
Then the auctioneer had a break.
Yes.
They had a break. And then they had a chat with 2 bidders who were still bidding because it was a bidding war between the last 2 people. One was a phone bidder and one was in person. And then we had to alter the contract slightly, so we had to include the ice bath as a condition. And,
they were coming in hot at the end there, weren't they?
So I was going to say goodbye to my ice bath. And hey, Pen. Yeah, so...
Ice bath.
Yep. Had to forego the ice bath as one of the conditions. But at that stage, we were like, take my kids, let's just sell this house.
Yeah, but at that point, we realised that we were going to sell, which was really exciting because we thought, okay, we've hit our absolute minimum, we're going to sell. But there were mixed emotions because we thought, this is a win. And we had to sort of coach ourselves to be like, this is a win. This is a win that we are selling. But it was still, we were a little bit disappointed that we didn't get what we ideally hoped for, just because obviously then that goes on our mortgage.
Yeah, and I think if there's one thing that I wish I had in my mind prior to this whole process, it would be that when you're buying and selling a house, you never get what you want to get for your house, and you always end up paying more than you want to pay for a house.
Yeah.
So you've just got to know that you're going to be disappointed at both ends.
So I think getting it sold is a win. Yeah. Even if it's your absolute minimum, there's so much more stress in it not selling and the process dragging out months and months and months.
Yeah.
Especially when you're waiting to purchase another one.
Those are the decisions that you make during the process, through the whole buying and selling process, is decisions like that. Big decisions, because it's like you could take a lower price that you're not exactly 100% happy with, But if you say yes to that, then you've got your next house.
Yep.
And so you have to make those decisions like through the buying and selling process in order to get to the next step. It's never just like you've got heaps of money and you've got this house really cheap. It never works that way.
No, there's no big buffers, you know.
Yeah.
No, well, quite a lot of people gave us advice when we started the whole process, and people that had done a similar thing bought conditionally on the sale of their house, and they all said, if you get an offer early on that is good enough, just take it, because oftentimes you'll find your buyer in the first 1 to 1.5 weeks.
Of open homes, that's so true. That is exactly what happens.
And so many people think, no, we can get more, and so they wait, and then they don't, and then it's really stressful, and it draws out the whole process. So if there's an offer that is good enough, doable, early on, seriously consider it.
And then so you guys done option because you basically had to do that to get your set day of sale so that you could move on to the next one. You couldn't just put a price on it or something like that. So option was going to give you the best result. And then, so you get your money, and then the other crucial part of your purchase or sale and purchase was the settlement dates. So effectively, do you want to just explain how the settlement dates work for people? Which was, you needed your one to settle before the new one, so obviously you have the money and it can flow through, or it could settle on the same day.
Well, what we didn't take into account was the deposits. So because you want the deposits to line up, because otherwise you could be out, $100,000 or whatever, and if you don't have that money sitting there, it can be really stressful. So I was only thinking about the settlements lining up, and so then we could transfer all of that on the same day. But I hadn't thought about
the deposits as well.
Deposits. So we ended up going back. How did we even sort that out?
Honestly, I can't even remember. It's like a blur for me.
I think we renegotiated the deposits.
Yeah, we did.
We renegotiated the deposits.
Yeah,
we
because
did.
obviously we...
As part of your offer.
Yeah, because of the offer on our house, they wanted to submit a lower deposit.
Oh, don't go into that, I
Why?
reckon. Well, just because of privacy for them.
They don't know.
They might not.
Who does? We're talking...
Does it not matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Does it not matter?
So they offered us a lower deposit than the standard 10%, and then that meant that then we were going to be very short on our deposit flowing through to this next house. So we then had to ask if we could also have a lower deposit on this house, and they said yes. So
so we managed to marry that up, and then we talked to before the auction, our agent had got the serious buyers and then had figured out what the settlements would be depending on who bought it. And so the person who did buy it, we wanted to settle on the same day so that then we could move out of our place, the person could move in there, and we could move into our new place.
And so do you guys have any tips for someone? So you've sold the house now it's coming up to moving. So what's the actual logistics of selling and buying a house on the same day? How does that play out?
It's pretty niggly. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
But it also...
I don't know how else to do it though.
No, buying and selling on the same day can be stressful, but also it's a really disjointed process because there are so many moving parts. You have to wait for the deposit for your place to clear, and then you have to then put your money through to the next place. The lawyers and the agents have to then do their thing, but it could be any time during the day. Like you don't know how quickly the
bank's going to release the funds,
or the bank's going to release the funds, and so we had an issue where we had the movers booked for 7 a.m, didn't we? And so we were out, and then we just had to wait until everything was cleared and we could get the keys for our new place. And so we paid our movers from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. They had all of our stuff.
Yeah, they were literally just
out.
parked on the side of the roads having a nap in the cab.
And we're paying for
I
it the
was
whole
driving
time.
past them like multiple times because I was like coming and dropping little bits off at the new house. and there's nothing we can do.
Oh, yeah. So just be prepared for that. I would say that if you're buying and selling on the same day, you can't control when you get the keys.
No.
Sometimes it can come through at 5 p.m.
Yeah. I've heard maybe potentially try not to do it on a Friday. We did it on a Friday and it's pretty jam-packed on a Friday, so that might be why it took so long.
Yeah. But then we managed to do it where we could talk to the purchaser of our old place. We asked if they would mind moving in on the Saturday. And so then at least that gave us time on the Friday to move out, get cleaners through in the afternoon and do any last minute jobs. And so then it's all ready for them early the next day. And so sometimes if they're open to it, that can be a really good way to do it. And so then you've just got a little bit of breathing space rather than moving out in the morning and having someone moving into and you're trying to clean up after yourselves. It's full on and it can be quite stressful. So yeah, we were lucky that we could do that.
You've done the selling and buying, you've settled on the right days. Now you kind of finally arrived in your dream property. So was it all worth it?
It was so worth it.
You know, it was kind of weird because I think I was under so much stress throughout the move, and then we finally got here. I kind of didn't know how I felt. It took me a couple of days to actually feel like, oh, good, we made the right decision. In all seriousness, I don't know, I just felt a bit strange and a bit discombobulated for the first couple of days. And then after that, I'd say after the first week, then I was like, okay, cool, this is great. And now I'm like, I love this place. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But it did take me a couple of days to adjust. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think because we had done so much of this hard work and then we had moved in and there was just crap everywhere.
Yeah, that was it,
And I think we were just saying, okay, we're in, this is amazing, let's just get everything sorted.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we were somewhat unpacked and we had the new rhythm of the new house, we were just so thankful that it was done and we could just relax and I could delete real estate, trade me one word, get them off my phone and never look at them again. Because we had kept such a close eye on the market for so long.
Yeah.
And then we were like, we don't need to know anymore. We're here, we're settled, we're going to be here for a long time. And then it was... And then we could get started on like, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to paint? What are we going to...
So great.
And so many families look at the, being a bit more, say, in town, and you guys have gone for just on the fringes of being in town to a bit more space. Like, how's that going for you?
Oh, we've got a robot mower now, so...
Yes. Yeah, we've got a lot more lawn. Which,
we've got 2 acres now.
We've got 2 acres, an acre of lawn and an acre of bush, which Maddie got lost in the other day. But the lawn is... We have a robot mower, which is just great. It's so good. Yeah. Now I'm loving the space. The kids love having so much space to run around in, loving exploring the bush. We've got a lot of plans to build tree houses and all sorts of really cool things. So it's awesome. And it's still close enough to town that it's super handy. So it's great.
It's just great that the kids can be loud. They can just be kids. They can run around outside having a great time and we don't have neighbours,
just over the fence. So getting annoyed with kids yelling.
Getting annoyed. So it's really good.
I think getting a feel for the market is key. So keeping an eye on the market through whatever, real estate app or whatever you want to use for like a few months is a great idea. So you get a really good feel for it. Find some places that you like or a place that you like, and then do your numbers or speak with someone who can give you some realistic ideas of how much you can actually afford. So we did some numbers ourselves as to what we thought we could afford, and we did it on a little scrap of paper and thought, I think that's about where we're at. But then luckily we got advice from you, Josh, because then we were like, that is not accurate, and I had actually miscalculated because I didn't realise something was fortnightly and not weekly or something. I don't know, but the numbers were way off essentially. And so then once we got that double checked and we knew exactly where we stood, what we could afford, what would be a stretch and what would be comfortable, then that eliminates so much extra time because then you're looking at places that are realistically within your budget rather than wasting your time looking at places that you can't afford. And then working back from there. And then going through and just getting pre-approval, getting you to sort out pre-approval was great. I've got no idea how to do any of that. Working with the banks, it was kind of like, we're the sort of people that we're quite like a hands-off approach to that sort of thing, and really appreciate people who know what they're doing to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's
We're just not good at it.
It's not our bread and butter.
Yeah, well, we just, we are not great with numbers, so we find having help with that sort of thing is key.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that sets you on the path of like, so then you know exactly what you can kind of go and spend on something. So you save a bit of that, like, not looking in the right places, maybe a little bit being disappointed, but gives you the focus for it, which is good.
Definitely.
So then you get the mortgage, and then so what was about the, how did you choose your interest rates? Like, how did you structure the mortgage? Was there anything that was like you found beneficial in the process there of how you might have done it differently in the past?
Well, it was really good talking to you about structuring the mortgage rates and the mortgages, because I didn't really realise that we could kind of split them. So we basically split our mortgage 50-50 and then put different interest rates and different terms on each of them, just to kind of hedge our bets with, potential fluctuations in interest rates in the future. And then we also went with a revolving credit as part of the mortgage structure, so that then we could it would allow us some cash to be able to potentially do some renovations in the future as well. Yeah, so in our previous house, we used the green loan through ASB for redoing some windows, and then we're now going to do the same on this property and use the remaining amount that we can to max out that 80 grand loan to then double glaze the windows here too.
Yeah, awesome.